patiently on stream, just so excited to be here. Let's see.
Welcome. Who do we got playing tonight?
Oh,
We got Cargo's Boom versus Rocket Power in the first match.
Yeah, Rocket Power versus Cars Go Boom. So this is balance twos. So these two teams are, generally speaking, they're high and low of the signups. So this should be pretty fun. So this is Mr. H, so English teacher, or not English teacher. That's
Robbie Hernandez,
Robbie Hernandez,
hailing from
different
Texas.
from English teacher.
Yes.
English
I
teacher
am
is
English
you,
teacher.
but there's too many teachers here.
Are there any teachers here?
Is anyone really teaching?
There's a few too many teachers here.
Teaching summer school, which is really more just like showing up.
Let's blast this out to the world. So everybody, oh, Dark Mark. So we got some players loading in. All right. So we're going to be getting started in just a few minutes. We've got the full casting squad today. We've got Lucas, aka English teacher. We've got Rick. We've got Sir Loco, who's going to teach us all how to play Rocket League.
I hope I can.
I'll be honest. Like, I took some of your insights from last week, and I feel like I actually applied them to my gameplay. So I appreciate that.
Well, that makes me very happy to hear.
Yeah.
As a sign of a good coach, you can say anything you want, but if you can't apply it, then
Yeah. Wait. So
good job, coach. Good job, Sir Loco.
Yeah, Loco's the good coach. There we go.
Exactly.
Wait, what?
Exactly.
Hold on, let's not go that far.
Well, it sounded really when you were saying it, it sounded really good. So yeah, I feel like I applied it well. Went to the training section, tried to do some wall shots. So but then I watched Coach Tony, and I'm like, wow, he's really good.
There you go.
So this match we've got up right now is Rocket Power versus Cars Go Boom, and let me pull up our ranks looking into this one. So Cars Go Boom is Champ 2 and Silver, and Rocket Power is Plat 3, D1 is Air Freets, and Gold. So this one's a little bit closer than last week's matchup for Rocket Power. Rocket Power played against CTMBGG, which is the Champ 2 team with the unranked, and so we'll see. I know Mr. H is a newer Champ 2 player. I think Coach Tony, Groovy Tony, has been in the Champ 2 Grand Champ arena for a while. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this one's going to play after a week of practicing, as these teams have practiced.
Yeah, absolutely. With those ranks getting thrown out there, as Castleview Esports says in the chat, do you think we're going to see any flip resets? So, me, I'm a lowly plat diamond player. I like to stay on the ground because typically when I go up in the air, I miss. So no flip resets coming from me, but who knows? We might see a couple from our two borderline Grand Champ players.
Yeah, I mean, I've played with Mr. H. It's kind of funny. He's like kind of a comedian on the pitch. He's got a lot of skills and talent, and he's not afraid to just try for off the wall resets and all that stuff. So I can't tell you if we're going to see successful flip resets tonight, but we might see attempted flip resets.
There's a big difference to be had between getting a flip reset and using a flip reset.
Yeah, one looks cool, one looks a little silly.
Yeah, I feel like I often am flipping and resetting constantly in Rocket League, but I don't think it's the one I want to be doing. So
I get flip resets all the time, and I have yet to score a single one, or even be able to like shoot a single one.
You're just excited because you got the wheels to touch the ball again.
Yeah, you hit it like at the bottom of the ball, and at that point, your car's just falling down way faster than the ball. And what do? You just kind of give up then.
Yeah, you're just like, one day. So we got 2 games tonight. After this one, we'll come with another round of the summer season for Coach Rivals Rocket League. Rick, are you a Rocket League player? I can't remember. Cleaner.
I do a little bit of Rocket League. I think I got all the way up to silver at one time.
Wow.
I do have the 2016 banner, so I did
Oh.
play back in the day for a little.
OG Rocket League.
But it's purely substantial. All my highlights I post in the highlight program. I mean, those are mostly, on accident, but they're still highlights.
Well, we should be getting ready here in just a minute. We've got the teams loaded in, and I think we will be going as the best of 5. So, Coach Hernandez is messaging me about this game. It's already beginning. So, this is kind of fun in the casting booth. We have quite a range of ranks here because I'm in the gold plat. We got Cleaner in silver, reaching for gold. We've got Loco in what are you right now? Grand Champ?
Yeah, highest is Grand Champ 1 and 3s.
And Lucas, you said plat diamond?
Yeah.
So this is like every big YouTuber's, like every big Rocket League YouTube star does this. Like how do they all play through the ranks? We have all the ranks
Yeah.
right here.
Oh, here we
There
go.
we go.
Yeah.
Now we just got to start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, a YouTube
So
channel.
all perspectives.
And yeah. So the real one is all of the analyzing from all the ranks. What do the ranks see? So this will be pretty fun. So
You'll hear a lot of wows and oohs coming from me. You got me.
yes, I mean that happens. That's what I do every time anyway. So
Mr. Hernandez plays this like he plays top in LOL. We're in for some excitement.
oh yeah, he's just all in, no holds barred.
Yeah, balls to the
rock and
wall.
roll.
Here we go.
Well, here we go. Starting
All right.
game 1 of 5. Air Freets sitting back. Dark Mark on the kickoff. Situated static, sending this one into the corner. Air Freets up on the drive, shooting this one down mid, picking that up, trying to get the second touch off that one. Dark Mark coming in on the rebound as that, putting a shot off to the side. We got a little double commit from Mr. H. Ooh, the shot is coming in real slow. Situated Static's able to make up for that. A little misdirection, a little misread from Air Freets coming in real hard on that shot.
And I think this is a great example of, the Sir Loco and Coop. I know we have casted some of these high school 3v3 games before, and we see a lot of double commits. Well, this is not 3v3, this is 2v2. Anytime you have a double commit, it is disastrous. I mean, depending on how far away you are from the goal, I mean, it could be game over if you're double committing on a shot on the other team's goal. It's just, there's no way to get back in time.
So if there's a
For sure.
big strategy challenge between 3 versus 3 and 2 versus 2, what's the main difference?
The main difference is kind of on par with what what do you want me to call you, Lucas or English?
Hey, you can call me Lucas.
Okay.
You can call me Lucas. Oh.
With what? Oh, Dark Mark coming in to
Ow,
equalize.
I was
it.
worried for a second. That pass was laid up perfectly, and as you know, we waited a little while, but Dark Mark got it in there eventually. Look at that.
Also,
Sharp angle.
Perfect.
that boom. I mean, that was a great demo from Air Freets to make sure that Mr. H can't even contest with getting that clear. So nice equalizer goal there. Nice communication. Oh, with the shot. Oh, blocked by Dark Mark. Staying still on that challenge as here comes Air Freets up on the side, blocked by Situated Static. So kind of what you were asking, Rick. One of the bigger Air Freets coming in to take advantage of
All
that.
you gotta do is start to answer my questions, and scores happen every single time. That was awesome. I like the pass off the side, and Air Freeze was just right in the perfect positioning. And right there.
That was super solid. So we'll get a kickoff goal here because I'm going to answer your question. So kind of like what Lucas was saying is you don't have that third car on the pitch. So on defense, that means if you overcommit, there's no one to pick up that goalie spot. And on offense, if everybody's up there, that's only 2 people up. So you really can't do anything. You can't overextend. have to be really, really conscious about positioning.
Yeah, so right here we have Mr. Hernandez going for the clear out of the corner. Situated Static comes up behind him as well. And with the clear, doing its job but not necessarily getting on completely on the side of the pitch, that means they've both double committed, they're both in the corner, and nobody's there to block the shot. Whereas in threes, it's not the greatest thing in the world to double commit, but at the very least, you should have that third and final person back there ready to go. So it's just...
That's where that rotation comes in so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Twos rotations are far less forgiving than a threes rotation would be, especially for those double commits. Because you can still recover with that third player having them back a little ways, but in 2v2s, double commits, that's just basically a free goal.
Yeah, and as we just saw, Airfreets on the breakaway, but not the right angle, putting it into the corner. Situated Static up in the air, the fake bunny hop as Mr. H comes up on the side. This is where he might want to be to try and get an air roll in there. Gets it, but just misses off the wheels. Mr. H now getting that full 100 boost pad, curling back around, maybe make another drive on goal. Misses in the corner. Situated Static picking that one up, crossing it. Airfreets is there to clear. Soft clear. Not very strong, but it is a great pass to Dark Mark, who misreads that just a little bit and puts it into Mr. Hernandez, but Airfreet steals it up in the air and puts it just off target to the top bar. So, Lucas, were you here last week, or was it just me and you, Sir Loco?
I was not here last
Okay.
week.
It was just me and Sir Loco. So we watched this Rocket Power team, which is Blue Side. We watched them up against CTMG, MBGG. Are you recognizing any differences? I feel like Rocket Power did a lot of practice. They're a totally different team.
I would agree. I'm seeing them give each other plenty of space. They're doing very few double commits, and you can see that with how most of the goals have been scored. It's not from double commits, it's just from really good passes or just a beautiful center from the Cars Go Boom team here.
Yeah, I feel like week 2 is such a different kind of experience. Now the other thing is Cars Go Boom had a bye last week, so they haven't actually played and competed together with a nice little flick.
And that's 2 in a row for my Texas boy.
Texas in the house.
We
Representing.
were down 2. Now we're up 3-3. Ain't over yet.
Looks like Mr. H is getting a little situated on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, and it's it's one of those symptoms of the kind of balanced twos format. We want to make sure the teams are as balanced as possible.
That was sick.
Yeah, it was really nice.
So you've got, yes, you have a relatively high-ranked player on each. Oh, wide open goal.
Breakaway.
Hernandez right there. Look at that. And just see what happened. You might see how this goal got so.
I think that was an unfortunate missed rotation
Yeah.
from Dark Mark. Just pushed a little bit too far up.
Yeah, because Harry he did that stutter step, I don't know, dribble thing, and I thought he was going to score.
Yeah, that was super clean where he did that like stalling backflip. But yeah, so you were talking about
Right. So one of the most. Look at that. Mr. Hernandez again, styling on him. Look, you're doing the early goop now. It's my turn. Anytime I want to answer the question. This time it's Mr. Hernandez. Both times styling on the other team right as I want to talk.
And they quickly pulled up a 2-point lead here.
Yeah, they went from down 2 to up 2.
I remember us talking about this when we were casting the Play VS Summer Cup, and I think is that a kickoff goal? First
that
kickoff
is-
goal of the game.
that's how you
That was good.
get
That was
back
nice
in.
and slow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just having a little bit higher up on that kickoff, able to get the triple quadruple kickoff touch to make that one go in.
And so we talked a little bit about this with the Play VS Cup, but a big part of a lot of these games are matching up, making sure that your best players have the best matchups possible. That's a lot easier in twos, right? There is so much space on the pitch. You can, if you just happen to have, your high-ranking player versus, in a 1v1 or taking a 50 against the other team's lower-ranking player, you can really get some interesting stuff off here. So a lot of it is trying to step up and keep these other teams' high-ranking players from popping off, making sure that you're helping out your teammates as much as possible. But there's just so much space that eventually something is going to happen where Mr. H maybe gets matched up against one of the other team's lower-ranking players, and we could see a little bit of fun stuff happen.
Yeah, and that's where that time, and history in the game. Oh, look at that
Ooh.
deflection goal.
That
Right
was
place, right time.
beautiful. And he did that. Look, he
Oh, wait a
passed it
minute.
to himself.
Look at that.
He knew exactly what he was doing. That was freaking sweet.
68 miles an hour, which I'm going to say this because I say this all the time. I think it's hilarious that these are cars with rockets on them, and the ball scored at 68 miles an hour, which means these rocket cars aren't even breaking 100 miles an hour.
Which I love because to me it confirms the canon. This is my head canon for Rocket League that one of the reasons why you can explode and come back so quickly is because it's actually remote controlled cars.
There you go.
And we're playing the remote controlled cars, so I think it lends to the evidence that those little dots you see on the background are normal size, and these rocket cars are just little toys.
I'm in for that. I'll be there. Also,
No, it makes your conscience feel a lot better.
There you go.
Side note: overtime, first game of this series. 5 goals for each team, so a high-scoring game, extremely back and forth, and a lot of action. So super fun to watch this one, and already starting with the drama. Last week we had a really fun series as Rocket Power was down 2 games in the series and came back and won game 3, and I think it was in overtime, and it was just, Loco and I were both just like on the edge of our seats with how much fun it was to watch a team take on a champ 2 grand champion team as we get a shot
That's
on
it
goal
right
from
there.
Hernandez.
There it is.
Dunk and drop this game.
They both were there for that one too. That was cool.
They were making sure it was going in one way or
Yeah.
another.
See, that's the double
Yeah.
commit that you just
Score
gotta go for.
secure.
Yeah.
And it's lucky they did get it, because if they didn't,
Yeah, that was very dangerous, but it worked out. So there we go. Cars Go Boom gets game 1 in the series going into OT. Yeah,
6 shots on goal for Mr. Hernandez teaches. 5 goals, 1 assist. Not bad.
Yeah.
All ones for situated standing.
and not one-sided at all. Rocket Power came out swinging really early, but Mr. H was able to get some nice dribbles on the ground to pop things in. So good game, which game 1 is all figuring out your opponent, circling the ring a little bit, and so game 2 we might see things mix up, or they both settle into a groove. At this point anything can really happen.
For sure, and you can see by these scores that even the lower ranked players on these teams, they definitely contributed. They pulled their weight.
Yeah, like Dark Mark with those assists. We saw those passes back and forth, being in the right spot. This kind of goes back to what was being mentioned about matching up your players. We saw that in those super high level SSL games for the Cup, where they didn't really know how to balance those things out. They would have a couple SSLs against a diamond, and it was, do we put our SSL in goal? Do we put our SSL on the front line? And in this, like you were saying, you're going to move around a little bit more, so you might be matched up against that lower ranked, but only for a few seconds, because all of a sudden you have to get back to goal, you have to get back on offense. So we might see those little tiny advantages being able to be taken as the rotations kind of break and how fast these 2s games can get.
For sure. One thing that I really want to see a lot of them start doing is dribbling the ball, because in 2s there's so much space that if you can keep it on the ground, you can maintain possession for much longer. And that can put the opposing team in very awkward positions. It makes it really hard to save.
Yeah, I think we just saw Mr. H try to get a dribble in right as you were saying that, and then Dark Mark just swung in from the side to steal that try away. Dark Mark with the trap, but it's flying in as Mr. H stopped that in a little bit of a bump to get Airfreets out of the way as Airfreets goes for the demo and can't get it. Out of position off the ceiling. The ball is just standing in the middle and Dark Mark underneath. Not really sure what to do in that position, which I completely understand when the ball is just in front of the goal, but man, I'll tell you, this Rocket Power team is not afraid to take defensive shots to clear this ball.
And look at
Ooh,
that.
Air
That
Freed
reward if we
picking
can
it
find
up.
a goal. Absolutely. Very nice.
Off the top, nice turnaround from Air Freeds, good read, and sending a long shot all the way from the back. So good recovery, even though being really close into goal to taking advantage of that overcommitment by both Hernandez and Situated Static.
And it's always a very important skill to have, turning those high pressure situations into a breakaway or a shot, because their team is usually so far up that you can turn those into your favor very quickly.
So we see Air Freeze on another drive. Oh, off the sidewall, but here
wide
comes
open
Dark Mark with
goal.
the pickup.
Nice.
Just got a repeat of the first game.
There you go.
Yeah, that was great. He was perfect positioning off the wall.
And see, Mr.
Right
H,
there.
I see, was cosplaying myself as I play. You know, I am known for going up on the side of the wall and then completely missing the ball. So here we
He
go.
was trying really hard, you could tell.
It's okay. That's an SSL tactic. I've seen it done before.
Oh, it's mental games, right? They'll never
Yeah.
know what you're doing if you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly. The best fakes are the ones that you can't even tell you're doing.
He scared the crap out of that little kitty cat on top of his car, though.
Ooh, little double bump as Dark Mark hits Air Freeze. It almost causes the ball to go in. Situated Static off the wall. Sending it straight to Dark Mark, but looks like Mr. H with the speedy handbrake to get out. Oh, up in the air, soft touch down. It goes. It might bump in. Oh my God. that
Mr.
bump
H
was
going
so
for the
good.
bump, not quite
Didn't he-
getting it.
Did he bump him
He
into it, or
almost,
did
he
he miss
almost
the
had
bump?
Dark Mark.
I
Yeah,
think he barely got a clip
It
on him. It
didn't
didn't
work
look like
either
he did
way.
too much, yeah.
I think it was a great
He
bump
almost had it.
because Dark Mark was on target to clear that, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Oof. Mr. H. Dark Mark with the flip, the immediate stop, back flip, sending this ball back into territory of Cars
We got
Go
a wide
Boom,
open
but
goal for Mr.
here we go.
H.
Mr. H coming around, trying to get a pass maybe off to Situated Static, but Dark Mark is there on the challenge because Air Freets was there to back up in goal. So seemingly really good communication going on here for Rocket Power, really cutting down on the double commits. As we see a little bit of a setup here as Dark Mark's in the middle on defense and then turns right back around. We've got a 50-50 situation and nobody wins that one. But Hernandez is up in the air, sending one into the corner. Try to trap by Air Freets with the boom coming in from Hernandez to take the goalie down. But that's not so bad because now they're both back. Dark Mark going a little bit back and forth. Hernandez here to take advantage of that stalled ball. Clearing aside once again, faking the demo from Hernandez in front, but not able to make anything happen as Dark Mark clears this one to the side. We'll see if Air Freets is able to get here in time. It's off the corner and it's just off, but no one's there to clean it up. It's Situated Static sends it into the corner to clear, but Air Freets is here again. And again. Air Freets turns around, sends this one as a nice pass to Situated Static, who's able to clear this ball. So a lot of action going on here. It looks like Rocket Power does not want to give up game 2. They're relentless on this one. Oop. Cleared is trying to happen, but Air Freet stalls that ball and sends one into the side. Are they able to get this one up in the air? Dark Mark off the top bar.
Oh, Mr. H, here he goes, all over it.
Oh no.
And the own goal?
See, Mr. H was all over it. He was passing it all around, but you can't, I mean, Situated Static, he was there so many times. He was stopping it from getting to the other part, and he's not going to show up on the stats on that, but he helped that score for sure.
Yeah. A little bit of space on the defense, and an overcommitment from Rocket Power on that drive, and that puts Cars Go Boom in a good situation here with a minute left. They just need to get one on the board to go to OT, and they've done it before as they're setting themselves up. The Situated Static sitting in the middle waiting for that pass, comes in to send it into the side. Dark Mark's going to try and clear this one now up onto the sidewall. Oh, but we've got both Cars Go Boom players double committing into the corner. Hernandez up on the wall, goes Dark Mark. We might get a pass to the center, and that's going to be cleared by Air Freets. So they're sitting these really nice passes off to the side. They just can't get this ball a couple pixels left or right to go in. As the timer goes down, and we might be getting Rocket Power on the board in this series. Take us to game 3. It's not over till it's over, as it is now.
Did y'all see Air Freets jump out of the way of that demo?
I did not.
Oh, did he just bunny
It
hop
was
it?
right in front of the goal, and Mr. H just knocked him out like 2 times, and he just bunny hopped right out of the way. It was great.
So the only thing that feels better than getting a demo in goal is bunny hopping someone trying to demo you. It is just so gratifying because you know that that's what they're going for, and they're completely out of position once they do it, and you're just still sitting there in goal. So
For sure.
another mental game to play as well. The demo is such a good tactic in Rocket League, but denying it as well.
Yeah, sometimes even just the pressure of a demo can be more than enough to cause a goal. Because if someone's dribbling the ball and then their other teammate goes in front of the ball and starts going for that demo, the defender has to dodge the demo one way or another, and that is enough to put him out of position for the shot. It's a scary situation because if you dodge it, you're alive, but they get the goal, and if you don't dodge it, you're dead, and they get the goal.
Yeah, so you just freeze, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Just-
what do you do?
what do you
It's-
do? It's like a PK, and it's it's like a penalty kick. You just take a guess. To your left, to your right.
Pretty much.
So that's gonna bring us to game 3. So we got ourselves a little bit of a run here, and we'll see who takes game 3 as both teams aren't really letting up. Definitely less goals in game 2 than in game 1, but we're starting to see, I think, Cars Go Boom playing a little bit differently here. It looks like Mr. H is getting a little more confident to be up in the air and up on the wall and maybe taking point to try and pass a little bit more to situated static, so we'll see if that plays as well. But what are y'all seeing and as we have 2 games down? Anything changing?
Well, my perception specifically of situated static is kind of a little biased because in the previous tournament that we had, the previous Balance 2's tournament, he was actually my teammate.
Oh.
And I think at that time he was a bronze player, so he's gone from bronze to silver in this time. And I've definitely seen that he's made a lot of improvement in that time.
Well, that is, it's always nice to improve, and then also when you get to play up with better players, which is, as Mr. Hernandez gets a point on the board. So in this series, that's the first goal for Cars Go Boom. So changing things up, which might set the tone for this one. So now, for the first time, Rocket Power is sitting on their back wheels at the beginning of a game in a deficit. We'll see how they react to that. But yeah, like you were saying, you played with situated static in a previous tournament. And what's kind of fun about Balance 2s is it gives a chance for players who are playing within their ranks to play up with players that they would never be able to play with because matchmaking wouldn't let it happen. So,
Absolutely.
And just learning from somebody else. I played in that tournament a couple of months ago, and I learned so much just playing with somebody who's, got a lot more skill than me.
And one of the biggest tools that people will find, and it's one of the most fun things that I see teams going for, is when they start learning how to use their difference in skills. Because if you have a pretty big skill deficit, everyone tries to target the higher skilled player. So if you start passing to that lower ranked player, they're not expecting it.
oh yeah, that'll open up some play and some options, especially if there's a play and an
That's
option.
pretty.
Air Freets, not afraid to make things happen on the ground. Yeah, because like you said, if everyone focuses on that high-ranked player, then you might be double committing or you cheating to that side, and that does open up that lower rank. But just because you're lower rank doesn't mean you can't score goals. And so if you've got an open field,
We
why
can do
not?
stuff too.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially if people are committing to the other side, as Air Freets takes advantage of this clear to get another one on the board back to back.
Neither of these teams are giving up.
Yeah, they see that open goal. They're just cutthroat. They're going through it.
Which is sometimes a really difficult thing to do if you're me.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done many open goals.
Cruising down the middle of the field with an open goal, trying to just barely nudge the ball so you don't overdo it, as Hernandez comes in with the off the top of the car block, as Air Freets trying to get a third one in for the hat trick, as Hernandez is up in the air doing a little bit of flying action as situated static comes into the side, and barely misses. You could see that they wanted that goal flying in a little too fast. Dark Mark, Air Freets on the same side. Oh, here comes Mr. H, able to get that clear, coming up against the side wall. A little bit of a soft tap. That's going to open up a shot on goal right over
And a
Air
great shot
Freets.
it is.
Nice placement. You can see the skills of these champs being able to put these shots in from different angles.
Yeah, I thought that was a miss bump from Mr. H, but it turned out that was exactly where the ball needed to go. So solid play by Mr. H, and then a nice little triple pop to flick it over. As both Mr. H and Air Freets up in the air as Dark Mark is coming in.
no.
A nasty little bump. Was that orange on orange?
That was his
That
better.
was
It
an
was orange on
unfortunate team bump.
orange.
And they went ahead and gave them a team bump as well.
Air Freets. Oh, Air Freets coming out of goal on that Mr. H drive. That was
He
a
tried a
great
little bit of the
attempt.
razzle dazzle.
It's hard to get, Air Freets has been able to read those dribbles really well. I mean, I know a couple have gone over the head, but we've had some really good saves on both Air Freets and Dark Mark on these Mr. H dribbles.
Oh, I thought
That was-
situated
That was
static
the
had it.
same exact shot that Mr. Hernandez had earlier. From almost the exact same place and very similar placement in the goal. That was impressive.
Up and over. So 3-2 with a minute and a half left as Rocket Power takes the lead in this one. Air Freets giving that one up to Dark Mark in the goal with the challenge.
Uh-oh.
Situated Static gets it on the board, and now we're tied.
That was really nice. I like that. That was just like little
That was-
tap, tap, tap.
Sometimes
I
you don't even
love
need a
that.
flip. Sometimes just
Yeah.
hitting the ball. That's sometimes the best shot you can do.
Yeah, nothing fancy, and that's just like that penalty kick. You force the defense to do something, and in that, oh, as we just saw in that one, it was just get the ball up and over, and Rocket Power went for the attack defense style, and it just went right over. So Mr. H puts it in the corner to roll it up as Air Freets sends it straight where Situated Static, and oh, Mr. H wants it, and that's gonna put it in the goal from a nice clear from Mr. H, and then an unfortunate bump from Air Freets. Oh, and a nice little bump from Situated Static too. to
Yeah, that
move
little
Air Freets
bump.
out of there.
Threw him off just
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, that was really nice.
The bump plays in 2v2s can be such a pivotal move to put into your play. Because if you take out one of their teammates, that's 50% of their team that's down.
Here we go.
Up off the wall. Mr. H in the corner as we're sitting in Rocket Power zone. Now I know that Cars Go Boom would love to get another goal on the board here because we've seen them go back and forth. So totally capable of getting a goal as Mr. H does just that. A little security
another bump.
blanket.
Yeah, watch the setup. Watch what he does. Right there out the back wall to his buddy.
Oh.
He knew he was
He
coming in.
wraps out Air Freights out of the way.
That was a beautiful
Freets.
pass, setup, and defensive bump from Situated Static. 30 seconds left on the ticker. Dark Mark loses the better of that kickoff as Air Freet's going to try and clear this ball as Dark Mark comes around from the other side to make sure it doesn't cross over the goal. Situated Static up in the air. Ball comes down. Is anyone there to clear it? Situated Static is going to take another shot on goal, but Air Freets, or Dark Mark is there to... Oh, as Mr. H now comes back. So back and
Wow.
forth ping pong and Rocket
Yeah,
Power
he was
defense.
waiting on it. That was pretty awesome. He was just waiting on it, and I can't believe Air Freeze didn't knock that one out.
The speed on that, though, the
It was coming
Yeah.
fast.
the reaction time on that. I mean, thinking you've got a clear and then it's immediately slammed into the goal. It's hard to read that, especially with the camera angle swiveling around. So looks like we're going to see shot on goal from Air Freets. And when that ball hits, that's going to be Cars Go Boom, Game 3 winner.
That puts us at series point, doesn't it?
That does
I
indeed.
believe so.
Congratulations.
And regardless of what the scoreboard is showing and who's won 2 games and who's won 1, I've seen both of these teams are definitely getting more comfortable in this series so far. I'm seeing a lot more trust between the teammates, fewer double commits as the series goes on. And just overall, everything seems to be going a lot smoother for both teams.
Yeah, big shift on that one. as Cars Go Boom takes a commanding 6 goals. But what was really fun to watch was Situated Static getting those passes in. Both players playing as a team for Cars Go Boom really set things up for them to take that one. So we're going into game 4, and Cars Go Boom is gonna be wanting to shut this one down. But Rocket Power definitely has the chops to get another goal or get another game in the series going. Try to take us to 5. Why not?
It'd be
Yeah.
nice, wouldn't
Games have been close enough and stressful enough as is. Why stop now?
it? With the immediate calculated coming in from Mr. H.
Wow. So here we go. Series point on the board. Potential for Cars Go Boom.
Looks like we have a bit of an interesting kickoff here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, never mind. It cleared
Oh,
up.
okay. Dark Mark sitting in goal here to clear. Getting this one wrapped around the corner. Mr. H is up on the wall. Barely misses. Coming back around is Situated Static to pass this one back into the center. Air Freets with the clear. Mr. H. Oh, a little bump. Sending Situated Static out of the zone as Mr. H open goal up in the air a little bit too much, and no one's there to pick it up. Situated Static come flying
He
in.
almost had it.
Barely misses. Air Freets coming in off the side wall, pushing it into the side. Oh, it's up and over and off the wheels comes Air Freets with the drop it. Wow, that was really clean.
Man. Mr. Hernandez, he was expecting it to roll off down off the wall, but it just bounced right up instead.
Just went up and over.
I have been the victim of many a weird wall bounce. I understand, Mr. H. I understand.
You can't read them. They do whatever they want.
Oh, and Mr. H responds in kind.
Real quick.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate because I feel like this is probably one of the hardest things to learn in Rocket League, right? Is when to challenge and when not to challenge. And unfortunately, right there, we just had a bit of an imbalance where you have Dark Mark in the goal, Mr. H challenging for the goal, and if you give him enough space, Mr. H is probably going to score every time on that. And it just, it's a bit of a learning curve, figuring out when do I challenge? Do I challenge early? Do I wait for the ball to come my way? Etc. And it's nice because these balanced twos do give them that chance, like we were talking about, to really practice some of that stuff that they might get away with in their lower ranked games. But they don't get away with here.
That's one of the hardest parts, is adapting to the different levels of players that you're facing in this tournament. Because you might be used to one. There's a goal, but you might be used to one time that you need to be challenging, but there's going to be completely different times that you have to challenge in this tournament.
That was a great pass. Dark Mark picked it up, ran it right in.
Yeah, just like that. And that's what I enjoy the most about watching Rocket League is the speed at which things come back and teams can pick back up after a goal. You can always carry it away as well, but it just makes for, kind of punishing positioning errors, but you can capitalize on those as well. So just like that, we see goals back to back, we see demos, and up in the air, Situated Static and Mr. H on the double commit misdirection, maybe some mind games going on there, as maybe a little miscommunication. But we've got Mr. H putting this one into the corner, a nice little pass once again to Situated Static. We've seen that play out before, and it's worked. So there's no reason why they wouldn't stop it now, as Air Freets puts this one right in front, but Mr. H isn't able to capitalize on it. So a little bit of bunching is going on, and that might be due to the Game 4 nature of the series. A little bit of fatigue might be settling in. Ooh, we got a low floater off the top bar, and barely missed by Air Freets, and Mr. H is caught out of position, and this is wide open for... Air Freets barely misses, but Dark Mark is there, and he misses as well. Bad angles for both Rocket Power players, unable to get that goal in. And Mr. H is able to clear that one. So a really good drive from Rocket Power, but just a little bit too much speed to catch up and get that ball back on target.
Yeah, sometimes you can overcommit yourself, and hey, Mr. Hernandez teaches scores again, ties it up 2-2.
Just really good positioning there to swing back into the middle of the field.
Just caught the top of the bar and right in.
And you might be right about that, about fatigue starting to set in, because after a certain amount of time of playing Rocket League, you notice that your brain feels numb. You start seeing the same thing over and over again. Your eyes start looking past the ball instead of at it. You get feeling uncomfortable. It's definitely a real thing to worry about in a tournament.
Yeah, you can get that tunnel vision, kind of like dead zone. You're kind of zoning out. As we see Mr. H able to curl around, some nice dribbling to get this one in, and they're on the board. 1 goal up on Rocket Power now.
And those were the kind of dribble plays that I wanted to see. Just keeping control and getting past all the players.
Dark Mark sitting in goal, making sure nothing else goes through. Rolling up the side, but it's stolen by Mr. H. Up in the air is Air Freeze, and is that going to be a deflection off the side wall? Mr. H challenging Dark Mark with a nice turnaround as this ball is kind of stalled in the corner. Bumped from Dark Mark into the middle of the field, but Air Freeze isn't there to clean that up. As a little bit of a pass. See, that's a good play, an interesting read as Situated Static passed that one off to Mr. H, the higher ranked player in this, maybe saying, you know what, I'm going to give you the wall shot.
So yeah, I would have tried taking it.
The beauty of team play is after a while
Like,
you start to trust
sorry.
your teammate. Air Freeze on the breakaway and stopped by Mr. H. Nice try from Air Freeze as we hit the 1 minute mark. You know that they want to get something on the board, and Cars Go Boom wants to get security goal, as I think we're going to start to see a little bit of a frantic try there as Mr. H gets that security goal on the board.
That wall coming back to haunt both teams. Anytime the ball bounces into the corner, it's going to put someone in an awkward position, either offense or defense.
45 seconds left on the clock. Series point is in the hands of Cars Go Boom to lose. As the ball is cleared into the middle, Mr. H takes it, drops it off to the side, picks up that 100 boost, curls around, and it's a 50-50 with the flip tricks from Mr. H to get another goal on the board.
That's impressive. I like the little bump, 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 because I can't do it.
Air feeds
The
with
control on that
respect.
turn.
So 30
And you can
seconds.
see-
Yep, go ahead.
You can see nothing but good sportsmanship from these teams. Everyone here's just having a good time.
Oh yeah, as Air
Oh,
Freeze
wow.
puts one on the board just like that. Up
There we
off
go.
the wall with a nice angle and a great shot. Those are really hard to do as the ball is already off the wall and it was right on target.
A bit of some self-deprecating quick chats coming from Mr. H, who knocked it in for Air Freeze with a little bit of insurance.
So you think it was nice shot, or I got it.
Oh, up and over. And is that going to go in? Dark Mark putting this ball in.
It's
We are just
done.
down by 1 with 11 seconds left.
Oh man, if we all play Rocket League, we know exactly how fast we can score. I mean, they just scored about 4 or 5 seconds there. Yeah, no, this
Yeah.
is. Here we go.
Why not?
Oh yeah, real quick, make it happen. Let's see.
It's
Game 5.
It's not over till it's over. What was that cup game where it was overtime, 4 minutes overtime, and it looked
Every
like
time.
yeah, every time. So
It was overtime every time.
overtime every time. And with that, oh no!
Oh my God.
Look at that.
Fun.
Mr. H saw his opportunity, gave a great pass to his teammate, and his teammate knocked him. Oh, look at that! So close to touching the ground and ending with some time, but
You can't ask for a better play than that.
look at that.
So there you go, series winner, solid showing from Cars Go Boom and Rocket Power. Whew. Another fun and exciting match in Balance 2s. Yeah, I mean, we've got another match coming in. We can go ahead and get that started. But what's your take?
That was impressive. Both teams put up such a hard fight. Neither of them were ready to bend for the other. And you can see both of them use both the higher ranked and the lower ranked player to their advantage, and it worked out so many times. And you saw the ground plays come into play. They definitely turned the tides there towards the end. It was just, it was a great match. 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 it was just Such a good set of games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and these games are
back
fun.
and
The
forth the
drama
whole
is
time.
there for
Loved watching it.
exactly back and forth, overtime. Um, I mean, just fun games. And Mr. H is in chat. Um, but yeah, so GG to both teams on that as we get loaded in for our next matchup. And this one is where we've got B&K versus CTMBGG. So we'll see how this goes in our second game of the night for Coach Rivals Balanced Twos. So make sure everybody gets in as we load up.
I'm very curious to see where CTMBGG's name came from.
It's their initials.
Okay.
Coach Tony
Okay.
Master
That makes
Blaster equals GG.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All good, all fun. Let's see. All right, so the lobby is made. We are now just waiting for our competitors to join us. Oh, gotta change that. But yeah, it was super fun. Like we said, back and forth. Both those teams, like you said, never giving up, putting it all out there, and showing that you might be playing against a higher ranked than you, but if you play as a team, you can really make some moves. So, and I think that's what we'll see out of this matchup too, because CT and MB is the widest discrepancy in this season. But Coach Tony has those passing plays that he can do to get that to Master Blaster. And we'll see. And I think with B and K, they're closer in rank. So they took a loss last week, but after a week of practicing, and we'll start to see some of that synergy that can come from being in the same rank.
For sure.
Let's see. Got everybody
And
here?
one of the hardest things that I'm finding about casting these games is you watch this great gameplay and all you want to do is just hop in there and play too.
Oh
Me
yeah,
too.
for sure.
I'm very quickly regretting not joining a team for this Balance 2 season. It looks like a ton of fun.
Me too. Me too.
Same. And it should have joined a competitive league in the League of Legends.
Speaking of which, you can catch us on Thursdays for a competitive League of Legends for Coach Rivals. Looks like we just got a message from one of our players. We are waiting on a player to load in. So if all else fails, you might get that wish there, Lucas. You might be subbing in.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be exciting?
it would be
I
exciting.
mean, not unless you want me to sub in.
I mean, it would be fun. Champ, grand champ. Could be a fun matchup. So we'll see. We'll give it a few, and if all else fails, this will turn into a fun little exhibition match because everybody gets to play regardless. So B and K might become
Casters versus players.
casters versus.
Ooh, yeah, that's
Get
gonna
the
be 3
we'll get a
versus 3.
4v2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just let them know. So yeah, so balance twos, it's always fun because of this discrepancy as we talked about. But what's really impressive is watching how the players progress as the season goes on, playing with that higher ranked player, being able to learn something that you might only get if you watch a couple YouTube videos over and over and over again. You can actually get that training in game, in practice, with that other player. It makes it a little more difficult because when you are practicing, if you're going into normals and you're playing you're playing in such a big gap, it can really be difficult. But getting some of those pointers can be super helpful. Sir Loco, in your experience being of pretty high rank, what's it like playing with players below you, whether that was with coaching or just in general? What's that experience like?
I would say probably the biggest difference, the biggest change that you have to make when playing with different ranks players is rotations. The rotations for every rank is so different from the rank before and after it. Right now I'm playing twos with one of my diamond friends, and it's very hard to find a rotation that works for both of us because he's used to rotating further back while I'm used to sticking higher up with my teammates. So you have to learn how your teammate rotates, especially when you're playing against another team that has kind of similar deficits that you do. Uh, and
Okay.
also, I mean, trust in your teammate. You know, you have to understand that they might not have the same mechanical skill that you have, and you have to respect that. You have to trust them in their skill, but you have to also recognize when you need to be behind them to give them backup in case they do miss.
Yeah, each rank, you know, if you do watch those videos on how to play bronze, how to play silver, how to play, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, uh, there is such a difference in those rotations. And it's usually probably based on, you know, skill and confidence in the air. Once you get higher in the rank and people are more confident flying and doing aerials, all of a sudden rotations must change completely because it's no longer about being on the ground for rotations, but it's about being able to catch passes and make plays. Do you feel like that happens as well? Is that one of those things that kind of trips you up? Is it the expectation of something happening from a lower ranked player who's not used to playing at that speed?
Sure, aerials, lower level players, they certainly can get up into the air and go for a ball, but the hard part is getting up and going for the ball before the opponent does. That's where that's where a lot of the getting beat tends to come from, is just speed in getting to the ball and confidence in committing to it. It's something that's hard to work on too, because you have to the situation has to come up for you to do it. It's kind of hard to practice in free play because you don't have the pressure of the other person challenging with you. So you have to it just comes with time playing in games over and over again.
Yeah, one of the things I see is like getting that confidence. Is if I got the confidence to go for it and I do it, it's great. If I don't and I kind of second guess myself, is when I find I'm not doing as good. Looks like we're about to start here, guys.
Yeah, we are in. So game 1 of 5. Expect to see some fancy footwork from Coach Tony. He's not afraid to get in the air, but he's also really good at trying to make plays with his teammates. So we'll see how they change their tactics from last week when they played Rocket Power, and we'll see if they do Coach Tony on goal or if they do Coach Tony on the offense. So Think is coming around on the corner as Coach Tony does a backflip and is just caught out of position as we almost get our first goal on the board, but it's blocked after all. So Coach Tony coming out on the side up against Think as trying to do a little shadow defense and able to get out of position as clearing that ball as Think. Master Blaster on the side misses that clear, and we've got an pass to Coach Tony up in the air. Big Sweaty on the defense, nice clear. Are they going to challenge it again? Master Blaster is on the side, sending it just to the side post. And we are at the 1 minute mark, and we are at 0-0. So a little bit different from our last. Oh,
Here we go.
take it back.
Seeing two Dominuses on the field, which is the superior card choice.
See,
In
I was
my
about to
opinion.
say
Oh, wow.
the same thing.
I'm sorry. This Finnick player has to disagree with you.
Wow, I said that and I saw every single name in the Discord in this chat light up.
Dude, I'm all about the Dominus.
It's a hot
I
take.
got the
right
Dominus GT myself.
here. You know what I think is not a hot take, and what I think a lot of us can agree on is that anytime you clear to the middle of field, some fireworks are about to happen, right? Especially if you're not absolutely booming the ball, anyways. And that's exactly what happened with that last goal. I'm trying to think who exactly. It must have been. I think it was Think. Think goes up there for a tough clear, barely gets a touch on it, clears it pretty slowly towards the center of the court, and Coach Tony just says, you know what, I'm taking it, it's mine. Wide open goal, all the time in the world to pull off that shot, and he puts it in the back of the net.
Yeah, that's one of those. It's the clear. It doesn't happen, but Coach Tony gets deflected off the top bar. Yeah, that angled clear. Every time I do it, I tell myself, why did you do that? you know, power shot clear off to the side, which just bounces straight into the center, is just the perfect pass to the other team. And it's so hard to get out of the mindset that, you know, power isn't everything in defense. Sometimes control, dropping the ball, and moving it is actually what you need to do.
Trust me when I say that does not go away even at higher levels.
Oh, great. So I'm basically playing at Grand Champ level, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're basically an SSL. You're basically a professional.
Excellent. I think we need to go back to this car talk, though.
Oh, do we?
All right.
I'm
I'm
curious what the chat. Mr. H is here, I know. I'm curious if the chat has some car choice preferences. So let us know the superior vehicle. I started as a Dominus player. Thought it was the best car ever. And then was gifted, finally got a Fennec. And I'm sold. Fennec is the car. Fennec is the car.
My man. I'm a huge Fennec guy. I've got a got that titanium white Fennec, 20XX decal. Look, it's just mint right there. Look, I just love it.
Oh my. Beautiful passing play right into the middle of the goal.
Yeah. Coach Tony sending this one around. Oh, a little stop over Big Sweaty's head. Master Blaster in the position to pick that up at the top of the key. And that is such a great place to be. If you can control the top of the key, that's where you're going to get goals, especially in twos. We talked about all that positioning. A slow shot from Master Blaster is going to get us 3 on the board. Let's see where they're hanging out. Just camping right there, cherry picking.
Something that I was super interested in seeing was how are the kickoffs going to go in this game, in this series, right? In all of these series in this season. And that one actually wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. We had Master Blaster or Coach Tony versus Big Sweaty, but I mean, if you get, especially in twos, if you win the kickoff, you know, by a lot, I mean, there's a really good chance that goal's wide open and you get a very, very quick goal off. Coach Tony there making a very valiant effort at a save.
He almost saved that ball.
He almost got it.
Almost had it.
He got really close.
And I hate to say it, but it might be because of the hitbox on that Dominus.
See what I'm saying? And look at that power, Dominus. I'm telling you.
Monkey. I feel like Dominus is, you know, for all the players who just go, you know, gotta boom every single thing that I touch.
Sure. The Dominus is
That's me.
The Dominus is the Darius of Rocket.
Absolutely.
I'm assuming that's a League reference that I probably wouldn't get.
That is League.
'Cause I play what's her name, Sona. I'm a support main.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Because I suck too much to do damage.
Oh, breakaway. Thought we were going to get something there. Big Sweaty comes back around in the corner. Just a few seconds left to make something happen. Think is up in the air, trying to get passing play. So I know we've talked about everything except this game. But still at the same time, I've just been captivated by this game because there hasn't been much of a breakaway as Coach Tony takes the shot and Think gets the block as Big Sweaty sends this one, of all the names really, sends this one into the side. Coach Tony is going to block that one and put it into the front, but Think challenged by Coach Tony puts this one in the middle as Master Blaster misses that. Think on the breakaway, singing into the corner. You can try and get a pass to themselves. Up in the air goes Think. Coach Tony barely able to get a knock off that on the corner with just a few seconds left. Coach Tony up in the air. Is it going to drop? Think with a nice block to send that one down. So keeping the goals as low as they can. GG wins this round. Game 1.
Oh, I personally want to chalk that game up to team plays. I noticed you can.
Not the Dominus?
Okay, well, I mean the Dominus. You can't say that one team won and one didn't because of the Dominus, because they both had a Dominus player on it.
Fair enough.
But I will say that the team plays were very crucial in that, because I noticed Coach Tony, he put in, I believe it was at least 2 beautiful centers that Master Blast. I'm just gonna call him Blaster for the sake of my tongue. That Blaster was able to come in and put them right into the net, and that was reflected in the scoreboard.
Yeah, as we see, Blaster gets those 2 goals. but Coach Tony's still getting the higher score off of that assist, and probably some demos and some first touches. But definitely, yeah, a good team showing from GG and a really good effort from B&K, making blocks that they did to keep the score as low as they could. And that's just, that's just game one, right? They're playing against a grand champ level player. So it's just going to take a little bit of time, and unfortunately, that time is game one to kind of figure out how this GG team is going to play.
Sure, the first game is definitely the learning game, trying to figure out how your opponents play.
I do like Blaster's car paint job though. Oh wait, are we? Uh-oh,
Think not moving.
a disconnect here. Might have some.
Disco.
Looks like it's a 3v1.
Oh dear.
Hmm.
There we go. We're getting some. All right, I think we're back.
Okay.
All right,
Had to get some.
and
Yeah, we're
figured
back.
it out.
All right, so a little bit of a
Bit of a rough start.
circus act in the beginning, but we're all set. 20 seconds, not that big a deal. But think with the great block off of Coach Tony, sending a zinger down the middle. Think. Oh, with the breakaway, but I think Coach Tony was able to just barely get that one out of the way. Up in the air, trying to bring this one
Oh,
down.
no.
That's a dangerous
Oh,
play
no.
right
Oh.
there. Oof. That was incredibly close to an own goal. Coach Tony with the feathering of the
Oh.
boost, but it might drop just off a couple pixels. Think. Big Sweaty on the breakaway over Coach Tony's head. Able to block that one with a nice bunny hop. So out the gates, we're seeing a little bit of a different team here from B&K. Coach Tony with the breakaway, dribbling straight in. Man, that's so hard to defend against for sure.
You saw Sweaty going for that demo, but he just couldn't get the front of his car to touch.
Mhm.
Splash goes Big Tony to get one on the board. Yeah, as you saw, trying to get that car push to try and get the ball out of there, or to get the car out of there.
Oh,
no.
nice.
Been there 100 times. That is camera redirect 101. That is the worst. Oh. You hate to see that. When you're underneath the ball and the camera flips just a little bit and it completely throws off the joysticks. So down 2 is B&K, but they've got the ability to turn this one around. Oh, as we get a bounce going on here. Oh, Big Sweaty coming in a little too fast with the backflip. Got Coach Tony on the drive again. Is this one gonna go? I think
Another
it's
dribble
just-
goal? I think
oh,
it
another
is.
Dribble goal from Coach Tony. So hard. So who was saying it earlier about the ground game? Was that you, Lucas?
I was saying,
Or Loco?
I said that I wanted to see a lot of dribbles. I think
Yeah.
Lucas might have said something on it as well. But yeah, I'm noticing if you give Coach Tony space on the ground, he knows how to control the ball.
Almost
Little bit
kickoff
of a
goal
fake
from Big
kickoff
Sweaty,
there.
yeah. Think with the shot on goal. Up in the air goes both GG players. The double commit defense. Coach Tony able to block that one. Up in the air, Big Sweaty's going in. Think with the block coming from cross goal to make that happen. But there's that clear we talked about. Oh, up and over. Coach Tony's able to stop that one. But yeah, we just almost saw what happens when you do that off the sidewall clear. It just is a perfect pass to the other team. Another dribble. Ooh, a nice block from Big Sweaty to stop that drive. And there's the boom that Think wants. And that's going to be a deflection. And that's just going to drop in. But Master Blaster is
No,
there.
it did not.
My goodness.
That was awesome.
What a
I love doing those
save.
saves like that.
Wow.
Because you know your heart's beating fast. You know if you're about to own goal it or a save, you can go either way.
And you can see he almost did it. Went inside the goal but bounced out. It was a very close save.
Yeah. Great shot, too, off the sidewall, off of the demo. And if they can demo Coach Tony, they're going to open up a 5-second window that they can capitalize on. The problem is if you can demo Coach Tony, we've seen a couple tries here, but he's just extremely fast and hard to get out of the way as Big Sweaty shuts down that air dribble attempt. And
What's
we've got a
that
shot on goal.
Dominus is taking extra tough.
Totally true, right? Ooh, Coach Tony up
Got
there.
more
Think trying to get the
Oh,
block.
nice. That was a nice bounce off the wall.
I'm
Goal.
telling you, the power of the Dominus.
All that mass behind it.
I played it for a really long time. I switched to switched back to the Octane and climbed a little bit. So then I
There you go.
just never looked back. And I got that Finnick, and I don't even care if I'm bad. The Finnick just looks so good.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it?
It doesn't matter how good or bad
Truly,
you do.
truly the superior Rocket League choice.
I mean,
It is
in
pretty,
terms
I'd
of
say that.
looks, I'm saying the Scarab is probably 10 out of 10.
All right, we should definitely
It's
do this.
iconic.
Everybody hates it. It has the same hitbox as the Octane. It just, for some reason, is impossible to drive.
It's the wheels. The wheels on the front, it feels like they absorb all of the hit.
Interesting. Big Sweaty is clearing this one to Think on the side. Here comes Coach Tony with a 50-50 shot. Back to Coach Tony off the top wall. Not able to get that one down. Master Blaster now with off the top wall. Big Sweaty trying to clear, but not there. Think is going to get this one rolling past. Coach Tony stops, blocks it with his tail fin. As we've got this drive still coming on by Coach Tony. Master Blaster setting up this up to the side wall, not able to bounce to the center. But there's the pass off the side. Trying to get this clear, double commit from both B&K players to get this one to stall with 30 seconds left. Ooh, good pass by Coach Tony. Master Blaster challenged in the air.
Yeah, I really appreciate seeing Think go for that reverse flip over there. Whatever. What am I thinking? Oh no, I can't remember what it's called anymore.
Is it a
That's embarrassing.
move?
Yeah, it's just when you're reversing and you try and flip
the half
midair to the half flip. There we
Yeah.
go. Whew, half flip. Perfect. There we go. Yeah, I haven't seen too many people do a half flip as we've gone through, and it's nice to see one of our lower ranked players try and do that. Get a little bit faster touch towards the ball, but
Yeah, it's. I remember trying to learn it and just thinking like, when is this thing useful? Like, is this actually useful? And then finally getting it in one game and going, oh,
yeah,
that's pretty quick. But
It's one of the things that I always advise people to learn.
it's so
it's
hard
and
to
it's so funny
perfect,
because I imagine I remember trying for so long, like day after day, trying to do it once because a friend of mine was ranting to me that I couldn't do it when I played with him. And then finally you get it right perfectly like the first 2 times, and then it's just like riding a bike. Like I anytime I take a break from Rocket League, doesn't matter how long the break is, months later I come back and it's just perfect half flips every time. Once you get it once, you're good to go.
Well, it's an important skill to learn because it's the momentum. It's able to keep momentum, whereas if you're driving backwards, you're not going to get it. You think that, oh, I don't have time to do a half flip, or I just need to go in reverse, or I'll do a handbrake turn, and then you realize that it actually is it's pretty quick. I was watching a pro match the other day, and I saw it used very effectively. It was like, yeah, see, that's why that's like it's like the kick flip, and you should just learn it.
Hmm.
So game 3 coming in here. B&K needs to get one on the board for this series to stay alive. As Coach Tony's in the corner clearing this ball out, but passes it straight to Think as Think and Big Sweaty are in the way. Oh, Think passing to the center as there's Big Sweaty to pick that one up. Master Blaster versus Big Sweaty. Sweaty's going to turn around, go into the key for some defense, getting that side boost, that corner boost. Coach Tony's up in the air, blocked by Think. So another really good defensive play from Think. And, we've seen GG take both of these games, but what that doesn't show is that there's been a lot of really good saves from Think challenging Tony in the air.
Absolutely. His defense in the air has been quite phenomenal most of the time.
Yeah, we've seen crossing saves coming from one side of the post to the other, and impressive. Oh, the fake coming in as Coach Tony's up in the air. Think gonna take a drive and not able to connect, just a little bit too low on that to get the shot off. Here's Think popping this one into the center. Big Sweaty up on the side with a little roll, and it's not able to get by either, as both players were in the air as this one's gonna drop in, and that's goal on the board. Think scores, bringing this match tied up. Some nice self pass, just getting it in.
And there was something you were talking about before the start of the series about where you think Coach Tony might be playing, if he's going to be playing more defensive or more offensive in this one. And I think that I'm starting to notice a tactic coming out of the works on their team, where Tony tends to be spending his time in the defensive half of the field, whereas he lets Blaster kind of go up and have free reign to apply pressure and make the other team uncomfortable. And then Coach Tony's just there to clean it up, and he puts it on goal most of the time.
Yeah, you saw him last game doing exactly that, just making passes to Master Blaster. Yeah, Mr.
Blaster.
Mr. Blaster got all the passes last game because Coach Tony decided to not put the foot on the throat and play a little learning stuff.
And I'm not necessarily sure how to counter it, because it drains your boost, it drains your mental stamina on that play, I guess. It's because you have one guy that's just constantly pestering you as you're trying to get it down the field. What do you do to get out of that position? What do you guys think?
I mean, it's kind of like in threes when you first start off. If you just play defense, you'll win games. Like, because nobody wants to play defense, but if you just sit back there and play cleanup, everybody just chases the ball, right? So you can be that third player that says, "Oh, I'll just go score right now." And so I wonder if it's kind of like that, like just stay back a little bit, have that second player zone more to the midfield. You know, let the 1v1s happen with Master Blaster, right? Don't overcommit on that. Don't leave the goal open, because that's how Coach Tony cleans up. Is if both players are going in, then that's where they're able to make those plays. As Master Blaster just gets one on the board. Let's see how this happened. Oh, a little block or off the top bar, angling into that side. So as you saw, they both were positioned left and right of the field to take up that pressure.
I would agree. It does draw out double commits, which it does cause some problems. I think that probably the best way that they could handle, or one of the ways that they could handle this situation, is keep possession of the ball. Go and do that 1v1 like you said with Blaster. And then if you can beat Blaster, slow it down for a moment and have the one of the players that doesn't have possession of the ball, have him go down the field and try to apply pressure to Coach Tony. Try to get him out of the way.
Yeah, so almost rotating around whoever is forward.
Like that bump right there
Yeah.
from Sweaty. If they can keep doing that, keep applying that physical pressure to Coach Tony, I think that that's probably the best way to break free of that tactic.
Ooh, this is a little bit of a breakaway here as Think's up in the air. Coach Tony's somewhere around here and is able to block that. But here comes Big Sweaty with one right up to the top bar. A little too much pressure. But now we've got a 3-shot potential here, back and forth. As are we gonna see this? A little pass to Big Sweaty. Coming around. Oh, not sure what to do on that one. Coach Tony's in goal. Master Blaster comes out. As we see another drive. Coach Tony, is this going to be off the top bar? It's going to barely sink in. 45 seconds.
Upper
to
right
go.
corner again. Love it.
Just the accuracy of able to do that from no momentum.
Yeah, that's a messy shot all day long.
Yeah, that's what happens when you give them space. They gotta shut down those gaps that they have. It's hard to do. I will say that.
So here we go with 30 seconds left. Big Sweaty off the side with the cross. Oh, and the bump coming from Tony and Master Blaster to make sure nothing happens there. As here we go. Master Blaster coming around the side, picking up that corner boost, but blocked and cleared by Think, keeping the score as low as they can. As Coach Tony, 15 seconds left, crossing. Oh, another bump coming. I mean, so you don't see those on the scoreboard, but there's just been so many bumps in this series, just shoving people out of position. And Coach Tony with the 1 second denier.
That was a great pass. Watch Mather Blaster doing what he does here.
That was textbook.
Perfect pass.
He held on to that flip until the very last second.
Yeah, that was really well done. Good positioning play, making sure someone's in the center. As series winner CTMB GG is going to take that for our second game of the night in the Coach Rivals Balanced Twos season. What's y'all's hot take off of this night of Rocket League?
Well, somehow my player banner actually changed to Coach Tony's player banner, which is interesting.
Oh.
But don't know how. But I remember talking about it earlier. I think it might have been in the previous series. But the teams that can use the lower level player, that's how you get those big game changing plays going on. And that's what I think GG did here. Is they had Master Blaster get into the right positions. He passed it. He was there to clean up the passes. He was ready to contribute wherever he could.
Yeah, and that just opened up the door that if they can't make it, but there's still some space, Coach Tony can come in as well while Blaster's recovering. Lucas, you still with us?
I am. One of the things that I was looking forward to tonight, and that I think I'm gonna continue to look forward to as we kind of go through the season is what our lower ranked players who get matched up, what they can do, because I really think, especially as you get some of these teams where you have two champ twos playing against each other, or a champ and a diamond playing against each other as the high ranking players, whichever lower ranked team member can contribute the most to step up the most. I really think that's where the difference maker is going to be. I don't think it matters how good your best player is. I think it matters how good the lower ranked player is, whether they can contribute, whether they can capitalize on any of these fantastic passes that we've been seeing from people like Coach Tony, or whether they can set up their, knock these good passes in onto the pitch, such as Master Blaster's last goal with Coach Tony. I really do think it's going to be interesting to see how good these low ranked players get, and what they can offer to their diamond and champ teammates.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, these higher ranked players are great to watch. I was loving seeing Coach Tony pass to his Mather Blaster buddy, and I just think those lower players are gonna have to step up, and that's kind of what part of the game here. Also, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I'm just excited to see if towards the end of this where people are ranking up as they practice and play ranked after this. So, you mentioned that your previous teammate, Sir Loco play with, has already ranked up from their previous rank in the last Balanced Twos tournament. And so that's where I think you'll start to see a lot of improvement is we've got about 3 more weeks of this. And so, as you play against better players, you just get better. You play against Coach Tony, you rewatch that game, you watch that replay, and you'll see like, oh, I understand now how I got beat in that goal, or maybe I can try that, give that a shot. It's hard to do that when you're playing against just yourself, essentially. So it'll be fun to watch as the season goes on, as anyone improves. I hope I improve, and yeah. But
Absolutely.
that's gonna be our second match for the night, and we'll be back on next Tuesday. We'll also be here Thursday for the League of Legends competitive series, and we also have a rescheduled match tomorrow night at
We do.
Yeah, League of Legends match tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel for Wednesday reschedules.
Yeah, and there's a podcast I hear that we're doing also.
Yes, Rift Happens. If you're into League of Legends, check out Rift Happens on Anchor, anchor.fm. Search Rift Happens. You can find it on Spotify or Google Podcasts and some others. But that should be coming out soon, and we will be live streaming that at some point in the future also. So that'll be Coach Justin and Coach Ronnie doing a sweet Twitch live stream for their League of Legends podcast, all about League of Legends and the CR competitive season. So don't miss that. Apparently, we have a lot of content.
We do have a lot of content going.
Where did it all come from? Cool. All right. Well, thank you to the overcrowded and tight squeeze casters booth. So thanks to y'all.
Always
Absolutely.
glad to
Yeah,
Oh,
happy to be here.
you guys.
super fun, you know, watching some great Rocket League. Not a problem.
And of course, thanks to the chat and our viewers out there. And if you're new, click the old follow. We hit affiliate. Woohoo! I think we get emojis, which is awesome. And we will see you all next time.